Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Callie. This is the Speculation Station. Going to go ahead and give a spoiler warning. We're going to be talking 9.0 pre-patch event and some Shadowlands spoilers. And without any delay, let's get straight to it. So today we're talking the pre-patch event. PTR has been updated. It looks like the Scourge Invasion 2.0 is there. We're going to see a return of several raid encounters from the Wrath of the Lich King, spanning across the Naxxramas raid, as well as some of the dungeons and Ice Crown Citadel encounters as well. This is exciting. Looks good. A lot of loot drops, a lot of, I guess, renamed items that these NPCs dropped previously. I'm hoping for recolors. I'm a transmog collector myself, but time will tell. But the big part we're talking about is a world quest in Eastern Plaguelands, and that is facing the Blightcaller. That is going there, killing a world boss that just happens to be one of the most hated or beloved characters currently in Warcraft lore. WoW had did an amazing job in outlining all the material and outlining all the details so far. Currently it looks like that at 10% we're missing a cutscene. If you read past that into the quest dialogue from the turn-in, you'll see that it appears that Tyrande delivers the killing blow. And that brings us to why we're here discussing it today. Are we looking at the final moments of Nathanos Blightcaller? Or is this simply just another page in the playbook and plan of Sylvanas? We don't have much to go off of. Wowhead did a great job in posting up a excerpt from Shadow's Rising novel. Of course, I'm going to spoil that here, so you've been warned. The excerpt basically is when Nathanos returns to Sylvanas after failing in his mission to kill Bwonsamdi. It's obviously through the words. Madeline did an amazing job in really describing both Nathanos and Sylvanas' emotions at this time. Nathanos is hurt. This is the love of his life. He failed. Sylvanas, of course, is disappointed. You get the sense this may not be the end. She, of course, describes that she's going to continue on with her plan. He says that he's going back to wait for her at the Mare's Stead. The final words are kind of what gives the impression that there may be more here. She says, "Go where you will, but do not be idle. The Lowen knows the Shadowlands well. I expect you will return to me with means to prevent his meddling. My path lies ahead." So basically, she's expecting Nathanos to come up with some plan to continue to pick up where he's failed, and that she's going to continue with the part of her plan that she's already dealing with. So you could take that and say he went back to the stead to come up with a plan, and we intervened and ended it before he could. Or you could look at that as they knew that once we found out he was there, we would find him and kill him, but that also allowed for the distraction away from Sylvanas while she worked on her side of the plan. And it's a possibility that us killing him was part of the plan all along. So, because what do we know? We know from Edge of Night, the short story way back in the day, in which they're now saying is the first moment Sylvanas met the jailer, that the end for undead is not necessarily the end. It's a great read if you haven't read it in a while. It's interesting knowing what we know now to go back and read Edge of Night, but we have to remember that when Sylvanas threw herself off Ice Crown, that the Valkyr, of course, they basically paused her afterlife. They gave her vision to what could occur if she wasn't there to lead her Forsaken. We get hints, or basically told straight out, that she didn't care about the Forsaken then. But I think we looked past that because of the events of Cataclysm, and she seemed to be really concerned about the future of the Forsaken from Cataclysm on, until, of course, Battle for Azeroth. But once in this limbo, and she tells the Valkyr that she's ready to just face her oblivion, that's exactly what they give her. She goes essentially to what we know now as the Maw. She sees Arthas there. She feels the other spirits and entities that are there pulling at her. And so it tells us that if Arthas is there and that's where she went, this is where Nathanos will go. And we currently know that she's in league with the Maw, with the jailer. So if Nathanos is defeated, this is essentially where he will go. So I imagine if they want to continue his story and make him an encounter maybe in the Maw raid, they'll pluck him right out of there. And that's where he'll be. But of course, this could be, with the inclusion of Tyrande, it could be a way for them to allow for her to get a kind of a little victory in her pursuit for her revenge and vengeance. I can see it both ways. It would be a shame to lose Nathanos. I think he's an interesting character. I mean, he's brash. he's arrogant. But as far as characters in the lore that really ignite emotion in players when dealing with him, he's one of the few right now that we have. So personally, I'd like to see him return. Let's not also forget that during the Darkshore campaign in Battle for Azeroth, Nathanos had Valkyr with him, and Sylvanas still has Valkyr remaining, so he could possibly be brought back via the Valkyr. I speculate that we now understand why the Valkyr were giving themselves so willingly to resurrect Sylvanas, because they were just passing on to the Maw with their supposed sacrifice just to await the second part of the plan. Like I said, it's very interesting to read Edge of Night and look back on the lore from Cataclysm to now, knowing what we know now. But yeah, like I said, there's not much to go off. Basically, if we tie in Edge of Night, we look at what we know so far, there's a good chance that this isn't the end for Mr. Blightcaller, but we'll have to wait and see. And of course, if you like this video, hit the like button. Please subscribe if you haven't so far. Leave a comment below. If you'd like to see if there's any specific content you'd like to see covered, feel free to email me. It's Khaliionwow@gmail.com, or throw me a tweet on Twitter. It's @Khalion, Khalion, or leave a comment below. I'd like to thank everyone for their support. The Lore to Look For Volume 2 video has been amazing as far as the support and viewing that we've got recently, and I really can't thank you enough. So again, thank you and have a great day.